What's up, Juventini? We've got a bunch to discuss today as we've got a new target in the midfield to add to the list for Juventus, and then you've got the futures of Conceição, Douglas Luiz, and even Andrea Cambiaso all receiving status updates today in the news. We're going to go through the details. Arkadiusz Milik, we finally find out what happened to Arkadiusz Milik. We'll go through that one. And then Igor Tudor got a lot of fans hyped up with his presser yesterday. Tomorrow it's time to walk the walk. But for now, there are still questions and there are still rumors around what way Juve could move forward. And apparently Giorgio Chiellini has an input on that one. We're going to go through all these details right now. I'm Berto. This is the AJ's Here channel dedicated to Juventus. It's March 28th. Let's rock with the news. We kick things off with midfield targets. Now, Mirko Di Natale claims that for weeks now, Juve has been looking and trying to formulate some plans, potentially getting a jump on what could happen in the summer. Sandro Tonali remains top of the list and nothing has changed there. We all know going to be a very difficult deal, and of course Champions League qualification will play a major role there. Mirko Di Natale claims there's also been another name for weeks that Juve has been looking at and maybe poking and prodding at. That is Florentino Luiz from Benfica. So both of those guys on the midfield target list for Juve. When it comes to our current midfielder, Douglas Luiz, apparently Nottingham Forest is not going away, and they are apparently reported to be pressing for the signing of Douglas Luiz this summer. They are going to go and make a major push to bring him in. Now, the speculation is that Juve would be asking somewhere around 45 million euros to say goodbye to Douglas Luiz, essentially a break-even mark for the midfielder. Let's see what happens. For Chico Conceição, we have heard steady throughout the year. 30 million euro release clause already agreed upon that Juve will come in at season's end and finalize the move. Now, when you get to this one, fast forward to the situation at hand. New coach coming in, Igor Tudor, which also has question marks around it. We'll get to that in a second. And then you've got a new position in Igor Tudor's setup. Igor Tudor did state that, hey, I'm going to adapt to the players and what works best for the players at my disposal. But Chico Conceição's future is anything but sealed, according to all the reports today. The question to Juventini is, do you still sign him? Do you wait to see how these 9 games go? It pretty much is going to depend on these 9 games. If he could show the tactical versatility to find himself effective even in a 3-4-2-1 setup, that would go a long way for making up my mind anyways. But do you agree? Let me know in the comments. When it comes to Andrea Cambiaso, apparently it's all up in the air if Manchester City is going to come in again for the player in the summer. However, now today we get reports that with a potential move away from Anfield for Trent Alexander-Arnold, apparently Cambiaso could be where Liverpool focuses and makes a move for. Let's see what Andrea Cambiaso decides. We all know what went down in January, and that was him finding an agreement with Man City. Will he find an agreement? Will he agree to go to Liverpool? Will the coaching situation completely change what Andrea Cambiaso wants to do? And does he revert back to that famous quote that Juventus is his Real Madrid? We will wait and find out, everybody, but the latest is Liverpool's interested in Cambiaso. When we get to Arkadiusz Milik, well, apparently when he left for Poland to continue his recovery process, he actually injured himself and picked up an injury while in the recovery process there. Everything is pointing to a contract termination at Juventus. and we are staring down the barrel of him not even playing at all this season. But that's what went down with Milik. When we get to Facundo Gonzalez, apparently Feyenoord will not be picking up the option for the young defender. He could be returning to Juventus this summer and maybe could provide a little bit of a depth option there. He is highly, highly touted, the young defender. So even if things don't go well with Feyenoord, we could actually potentially use him next season, as it is a position we will need depth in. When it comes to Igor Tudor, again, he got everybody hyped up yesterday with a fantastic presser. All right, tomorrow it's time to walk the walk. You know where to be. We're going to be live getting you hyped up for that game against Genoa at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. But Tudor, nothing is decided, and the rumor still persists that there is Mancini, Gasperini, Conte, and Pioli all on Juve's list. Apparently, Giorgio Chiellini has a preference, however, out of these coaches, and it's said to be Mancini that Giorgio Chiellini would like to come in and see as the bench boss at Juventus. Remember the reports like just, 4 days ago that Giuntoli wanted Mancini and Tudor was decided by Elkan, and everybody chewed off Giuntoli's head and said this is the end for him? Well, apparently Chiellini would like Mancini too. I don't think anything is decided. I think all of these questions, as Juve has a plethora of questions around them right now at the moment, we are just going to have to wait, and time will tell, all right? But for Igor Tudor, let's see how these 9 games go. He talked the talk, but tomorrow, time to walk the walk. Hope to see you all in that live show. This wraps up the news break. You all know the drill, all right? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, join our AJC army, but let me know what you think about all the news you just heard here today, all right? Can't wait to mix it up with you all. As always, no matter what, fino alla fine, Forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.